always by our side. Watch over us again, Lord, as we go into the in the Lord's name we pray. Amen.
Already a success. The future depends on us because we are the future. We must always try to build a better place because we owe that to the future generations. I know that the road lies ahead is a bumpy one. We will inherit a lot of problems and it will not be easy. But it is up to us to search for the solutions to these problems. We must strive to make this world just a little more perfect. I know that each of us here has the potential to make a difference. And I urge each of you to try. Always do the best that you can, and then you will know that true meaning of success. Good luck to each of you. May all of your dreams come true. I thank you for each of the memories that you have given me, and I want you to know that I love each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart.
guest this evening, Mr. Tech County, Superintendent of Newberry County Public Schools, Dr. John Roach, Area School Board Member, Dr. Sam Greer, Member of the State Board of Education, and Hiram Gerslow, Superintendent of Georgia Pacific. We extend to them our welcome. North Carolina. Together with his wife, Ruth, he lives in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Mrs. Greer is principal of Sullivan Middle School in Rock Hill. Dr. Greer has been cited by undergraduate students as an educator who made a difference. Our speaker this evening presents speeches at national meetings of the American Vocational Association and has presented a speech at a meeting of the National School Boards Association. He has a number of publications to his credit and is a former chairman and currently member of the South Carolina State Board of Education. Dr. Greer is educated at Appalachian State University, New York University, and the University of South Carolina. He is currently retired and is Professor Emeritus at Winthrop University. He is a member of Phi Delta Kappa, the Dropout Prevention Committee, the Vocational Evaluation Team, the Greater Rock Hill Chamber of Commerce, the Lions Club, and the York County Heart Association, to name a few of his professional organizations and activities. He received a presidential citation from Winthrop for leadership in vocational education, recruitment,
principle that you'd much rather hear the band than hear me speak, but I'll try to make it brief, as interesting as any teachers can. But first I want you to note the tie. For all the English teachers in my career, I honor them with this tie because there's the composition, and Dr. Dowling just told me a minute ago that he noticed it was blank. But I am delighted to be with you in this wonderful, wonderful evening, and I certainly appreciate that nice introduction to Dr. Ted Dowling, Superintendent, to Mr. Manuse, to Dr. John Roach. John and I have been school board members together. We've had some interesting times in the past. Members of the faculty, your friends in the future, they're friends now, and your friends forever. Parents, of course, all of you out there, the honorees, the graduating class of 1994. I want to personally thank Ms. Carol Wheeler, who I think is probably one of the best students I've ever had the privilege of working with. She was my graduate assistant for a couple of years, and you know that had to be murder. But Carol, I do thank you for all that you've done, what you've said, and how well you have done yourself. She's one of the best professionals I've ever met. Also, if you would just give me one moment of personal privilege, I'll get on with what I have to say so you can get this diploma and have fun on that road. I forgot the name of the road tonight. I heard someone speak not long ago. But I am celebrating, Ruth and I are celebrating our 39th wedding anniversary. On June the 3rd, 1955, we were married. We were together in high school. I won't say much more. She has been a lot to me over the years, and I'd like for Ruth to stand if she would. If you would, have me welcome, recognize her for spending 39 years in this family. Now, business in hand, graduates. I'm going to be talking to y'all, okay? This is indeed a privilege for me since I can think of no other group I would rather congratulate on occasions such as this. Before you let your mind wander too much this evening from other remarks I wish to make, I ask each of you to accept my heartiest congratulations, even though you might be nervous. I commend you for setting this educational goal and, more importantly, achieving it as you now have. You're not going to long remember what I'm going to say this evening, but you may remember your own thoughts as I am speaking. Perhaps you will allow me to enter your thoughts for a few minutes. One of you is thinking, I finally made it. It was not easy, but I'm glad I did. A couple of you are wondering, is this diploma really going to make a difference? Several of you are thinking, now I can get on with my job, my attending post-secondary education or higher education. And there are several variations of that thought. Many of you are looking forward to other things. The diploma, my friends, you are about to receive, this tells others now you are better educated than you were. I would like to join you this evening in thinking, what difference does an education make? What are some of the qualities which set an educated person apart from one who is not so well educated? A prominent businessman summed up his success in 3 simple words. And then some. I borrowed this from Dr. Barbara Nielsen, your State Superintendent of Education, when I gave her bad speech, and I do have her permission to use these 3 simple words. After graduating from high school, I believe that the main difference, what this business person said, between average people and top people could be explained in these 3 simple words, and then some. Just listen. The top people did what was expected of them, and then some. They were thoughtful of others. They were considerate and kind, and then some. They met their obligations and responsibilities fairly and squarely, and then some. They are good friends to their friends, and then some. They can be counted on in an emergency, and then some. Now, there are 3 characteristics of an educated person I'd like to discuss, and I hope you leave here this evening with, and I'm sure you will. And the first characteristic that I hope you possess more tonight than you have previously is that of self-reliance. Elbert Hubbard said, the object, and teachers don't get mad at me, but Hubbard said the object of teaching is to enable the student to get along without his or her teachers. Isn't that a wonderful statement? And that's what it's all about, Dr. Downs. Of course, I know that many of you have been independent and self-reliant in some ways for a long time, but the knowledge, the skills, the experience, and competence you have acquired in the last 12 years should give you greater confidence and insight and make you less likely to be fooled by those who might try to influence you for their own selfish interest. The educated person listens to others, for he or she knows there is much that he or she does not know. At the same time, he or she knows that a super sports figure, there are several of them here in this beautiful town of Whitmire, or a smash screen star is not necessarily an authority on which toothpaste best prevents tooth decay or which pain reliever would be best to use or take. The educated person knows that although most people are basically decent and honest, there are those, Dr. Roach, even some politicians, no reflection, who are not this way and who would use his or her vote for their own selfish interest. The educated person knows that just because something is in print, it is not necessarily true. I can go on and on, but I hope that you agree with me that education helps to set the mind free. It enables one to be less easily taken in, whether confronted by a flam artist, a would-be tyrant, or political dictator, or just the everyday newspaper and television advertising. Yes, I believe education helps us as we read and listen to others to be more discerning about who and what we believe. As we listen to and learn from others, we are able to think rationally for ourselves. The second characteristic of an educated person is a thirst or craving for more knowledge. If I could make one suggestion to you this evening that would at least could make a major difference throughout your life, it would be this. Become a sponge for knowledge. Never allow any opportunity to be an educational vacuum. Get the most you can from every experience. There's a great book published not long ago that escaped many people's attention. It was Shelton Cott's Even a Stone Can Be a Teacher, learning and growing from the experiences of everyday life. His point is simply that every personal encounter offers something worth listening. Any experience. Can you be happy alone? Can you look out on the world and see anything but dollars and cents? Can your soul claim relationship with the Creator? Mr. Cyrus Curtis of the old Saturday Evening Post used to keep a large sign his office, which read, and I
Please stand. Be recognized. Loved ones of the graduates, you made it all possible for them also. It gives me great pleasure to present the senior with the second highest scholastic average during her high school career, a plaque recognizing her as the 1994 salutatorian Jennifer Caudillo. I also will present a plaque to the senior with the highest scholastic average during her high school career. Congratulations to Whitmire High School's valedictorian for 1994, Tawana Lyles. Accomplished much during their lives. Also at this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Hiram Messero, who will present the Georgia Pacific Scholarship.
While the band was playing, I was looking out in your faces. I saw a lot of emotion, and I want to congratulate you on your graduation and wish you the best. I know you have a lot to look forward to, particularly if you apply yourselves like you have for the last 4 years. Since 1954, Georgia Pacific has awarded more than $10 billion worth of scholarships to students around the country. This year, Georgia Pacific will be awarding $480,000 to students who live and go to school next to our facilities. At Georgia Pacific, we like to reward quality where we find it at the workplace and in the classroom. I'm very, very pleased to present a $5,000 four-year scholarship to a student that's given a quality performance both in her personal life and in the classroom. Please join me in congratulating the recipient of the 1994 Georgia Pacific Scholarship Award, Ms. Tawana Lyles.
Always a pleasure to be at Whitmire, Pearl of the Piedmont. I always feel good about being in Whitmire because I always feel like I'm at home. And I'm not real sure whether it gets hotter every year or whether I'm getting older every year. These are certainly ceremonies that we don't want to go on too long. It is a special night for all of you members of the graduating class of 1994. And on behalf of the Board of Education and the School District Administration, I want to bring to you also my congratulations. I wish the very best for you as you leave here tonight. Whatever path you may choose to take, whatever you may choose to go in. We do hope that you will continue to live as part of Newberry County and continue to support the education system here. And hope you'll be able to reflect back and know that it has played a major part in your life. Each year, the School District of Newberry County presents awards to those students who have achieved a scholastic aptitude tested result of 1100 or higher and have earned 22 or more units during their high school career. These students are considered to be academic honor graduates of Newberry County schools. This year, there are 2 students from Whitmire High School who will receive the Academic Honor Graduate Award. Sharon Gail Sherbert. who is an academic honor graduate, is Jennifer Suzanne Caudill.
Please rise. In accordance with the laws of the state of South Carolina, in compliance with the policies and regulations of the State Board of Education, the Newberry County School District Board of Education, and upon recommendation of the faculty of Whitmire High School, I hereby certify that on this June 3rd, 1994, the students who stand before me have qualified for the South Carolina High School Diploma or Certificate. Congratulations.
Jason Lee Alexander. Carrie Gail Baker. Tammy Denise Brown. William Scott Bullard. Jennifer Suzanne Caudill. Samarla Faye Schick. Robert Jamal Clark. Jaquanda Letitia Dawkins. Janae Michelle Epps. Takesha Lorraine Feaster. Jamie Garner. Amy Michelle Gillen. Adam David Honeycutt. Jamie Lee Honeycutt. Jonathan Michael Jenkins. Leslie Lynn Jenkins. Michael Chris Key. Paula Diane Lanier. Jason Alex Lee. Tawana Lakeisha Lyles. Stephen Armand Nagy. Brandy Michelle Paradise. Stacy Melton Fraser. Brian Keith Randolph. Karen Diane Seymour. Beth Anita Shelton. Shaylin Gail Sherber. Gemma Jane Stinson. Tara Michelle Taylor. Jerry Clifton Thomas III. Christopher Carroll Wilbanks.
Use your high school diploma as the beginning of a lifetime of learning and accomplishments. You are now all members of the alumni of Whitmire High School.
That education begins at home. I believe this to be true. And because of this beginning, I stand before you this evening. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for all of your support and discipline over the years. And a special thanks to you, Mom, for the extra push when I wanted to stop filling out those scholarship applications and quit studying for that big calculus test. I hope you are as proud of me today as I am of you for the wonderful job you've done as me and my parents. Thanks. I love you both. To my brother Greg, I have many events of you here at the high school. Thanks for the memories. Make sure you keep Mom and Daddy straight when I go to college in the fall. Faculty, staff, and administration, thank you all. You made my last 6 years here at the high school the best they could be. To our sponsors, Ms. Brown and Ms. Parker, thank you for making our senior year the best. I know we've been difficult to work with, but I'm glad you stayed in there with us. Our senior trip was worth all the work. I just wish you could have been there, Ms. Brown, to share in all our fun. Thank you for putting up with us in calculus class and for making us work when we really want you to quit. To Mrs. Floyd, thank you for all of your help. I appreciate your patience with me all the many times I aggravated you for scholarship applications and for transcripts. Our hard work is paying off. To Ms. Shelton, you've been a second mom to me, not only at school, but everywhere else as well. I look to you and your family for love and support. Thank you. I'll never forget you. To my junior girls, Dan and Janelle, enjoy your senior year. It's the best time of your life. Get involved and cherish every moment because it all goes by too quickly. To my best friend, Beth, there's so much I can say, but we don't have time for all that right now. So I'll just say thanks for everything. Our friendship means the world to me. To Mr. Walters, thank you. You began your first year here at the hospital the same as we did, and it means a lot to us for you to be here sharing our commencement. And finally, to the class of 1990, Certain events, like walking all over Disney World with Miss May and Mrs. Zara, and seeing every corner of our country's capital with Mrs. Campbell and Mrs. Bledsoe, stand out in my mind. But we saved the best for last. Senior trip 94. This trip seems to have brought our class closer together. We got to know Mr. and Mrs. Reduce's little better. We enjoyed Mr. and Mrs. Partridge and Mr. and Mrs. Turner at evening dinner all dressed up. And we experienced Miss Wisdom and Mrs. Wisdom at the club. We'll think about Tammy and Pedro, John and Chris, Adam and Jamal doing their little dance at the club. Jimmo on his seventh dance. And Cliff, just being Cliff. And I'm sure we'll all smile. And who can forget about John in the hat? Well, with the closing of this ceremony, the senior class of 1994 will become history. We have had many inspiring moments as a class. All of these experiences have helped us grow up. We have learned to think for ourselves, which we should be grateful for, because we have many decisions to make in the future. We'll have to make decisions concerning our education, our career, and our friends. An important part of education is learning to make these decisions. Hopefully, the education we have received and will continue to receive will help guide us in making these important decisions in life, because there is no turning back now. Graduation has brought about excitement, tension, memories, and sadness. We are excited to be graduating from high school, yet a little sad about leaving old friends, and scared to see what the future holds. But as we go our different ways in life, I am sure we will return many times in our memories to the years we spent together in high school. We will remember these friends and experiences forever. Thank you, class of 94. I hold a special place in my heart for each and every one.